And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
Set, 20.
First carry for Nick Chubb. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let's go, boys, let's go. Hey, let's go. Get ready, get ready.
2nd and 5 now. Mayfield got an open man. It's Ratley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
First down.
Set, 180. 98 to Mike. Here we go, here we go.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. A quick throw to Ratley. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Set, 180. 98 to Mike. Hey, check. Real. Hey, my 7. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. Watch 98.
On 2nd and 7, Mayfield. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 27-yard line.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this has started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. Mayfield tosses one complete to Landry. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield flushed out right. This one caught by Chesson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Little glimpse of his athleticism there and what they're going to have to deal with. He can use his legs to dance around back behind the line of scrimmage and beyond the line of scrimmage.
And wouldn't you love to get a copy of their defensive scouting report going into the week? Because that's been stressed the whole time. Keep him bottled up. Keep him in the pocket. But it's the first drive of the game and emotions are running high. Someone forgot that, trying to make a big play and gave up a bigger one instead.
A run for Nick Chubb. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Mayfield. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. From the gun, Mayfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Tariq Cohen with touchdown number 8 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
The Browns drive about to get started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Well, no matter your experience level as a quarterback, you throw an interception on that first drive, maybe a little shaken up. Nice response there to get their first down.
I think you make an excellent point. I don't care who you are. You throw an interception, it's going to get to you a little bit. But the ones that we've seen that are the best, you never notice it. They don't come to the bench, throw their helmets, they don't do any of that. They just go back out the next drive and act like it never happened. And that's what we're seeing here.
I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out.
Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Bud Dupree, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. 6-0 our score after 1. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. Give them 32 on the play. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. 36. Switch.
Mayfield on first down. Flush to his right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Mayfield to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. 3rd and short yardage. Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
On fourth down, Freddie Kitchens is going to send out the field goal unit. The wind is at his back here in the second quarter. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this?
And nothing but daylight ahead. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Tariq Cohen, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Browns' drive about to get started. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Throwing, Mayfield. And that'll be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Browns on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A gain of 22.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
To throw, Mayfield, buying time. Now Mayfield lost the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers. The 20, 10, and he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Watch the edge.
First down, a run with Cohen. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check 4.
They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
All right now. All right, 80. Easy. Be calm. 132 spider.
On 3rd down, a run with Cohen. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Partner, I know my grade school teachers never would believe this, but I can absorb a lesson. I think there's a lesson in this one. He's having a great day running the football, but occasionally they're going to find a way to stop you, aren't they?
Yeah, this time the defense stepped up, and what's been so far a tough game for them. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And this Browns defense stands tall. The Browns drive about to get started. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Hey, alert! Let's go!
Mayfield off the play fake. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 19. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Check 26, check 26.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. On 3rd down, Mayfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And his kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return.
At their own 38-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. Good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense has got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. They go play action here on first down. They'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. 4 seconds left, and there's the timeout. In field goal range and a chance to tack on 3 before intermission. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. A 33-yarder from the left hash. Boswell's kick is good. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Coming to you, coming to you.
Again, it's Cohen. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Snickers, 66.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. But it's brought in by Washington. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A good pickup there of 22.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Ready? Left 30.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
On first down, Cohen. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
That's it, baby.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
They try again with Cohen. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Snickers. Snickers. Squirrel.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And that will be incomplete. So no problems moving the ball in the first half, but they'll likely come up empty here on drive 1 of quarter 3.
And it was so important for the defense to get that stop because what we witnessed in the first half was them getting run over. And they needed the confidence, and they needed to get off the field so they felt good going forward in this game.
Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and then angled for him and shot for him. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too. Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. 12 yards there and a first down. So a little more space to work with here from the 13 on 1st and 10.
Hey, Haywood.
Watch 98. Watch 98. 98's the mic. Not today, you are.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. A 4-receiver set here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 6. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Go.
And again, it's Mayfield. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Bud Dupree in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Around the NFL, 3rd quarter at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. They'll run on 1st down. It's Cohen, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. On 2nd and 15 now. Roethlisberger, and yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. That one good for 26 and a first down. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog.
No foul.
From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And this will be incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And that'll bring up second down.
Incomplete. It's now second and 10.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
Monday. SOS. Slack.
On second down now, it's Cohen. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. The Steelers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is third down and 12.
Back. Snickers, got to spin. Here we go. Slack.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. The D-tackle, Sheldon Richardson, came barreling in for the sack. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter.
It's caught inside the 25. A big play that time for Cleveland. 54 yards.
I'm going back to you.
King.
First down, Cleveland.
On first and 10, Mayfield. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a first and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they didn't get their backs,
And he will not get away. He's sacked back around the 3-yard line.
I I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. Something we're seeing more of with the rise of the run-pass option. A legal man downfield, and that's going to back him up. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Let's get this, get this. Kill, kill, kill. Kill.
Now they'll run it with Cohen. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Throwing on second and long. Roethlisberger. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third. Now Roethlisberger. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down.
Probably a little bit of a surprise call there on 3rd and inches that they decided to throw the football. And how difficult is that for an offensive line when they look up and see all those extra bodies coming at them?
Tons of bodies coming in. They get a huge sack there. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started.
Watch the back, watch the back. 198.
One.
Let's go. 198.
First down, Mayfield. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Mayfield now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. He's going to lock one deep left, and that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. So with the pass being completed, they'll go ahead and take that instead.
Nothing extra to be gained. Pass interference at the spot, completed the pass. That was your play, so you might as well have not even had the penalty.
Mayfield looks to throw. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover. They're in the end zone. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play.
Mayfield's pass. Incomplete in the end zone. Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Running for it. Here's Chubb. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. Cohen. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Around the NFL, 4th quarter right now in Atlanta. And the Falcons sort of opening things up there. If they hold on, a victory there would be their 3rd of the year. Mayfield on first down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
A 2nd down throw for Mayfield. He's going to let it fly. That's caught inside the 20. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns get a score closer.
You've got to understand situational football because they're playing with the lead here late in the ball game. So the back defender has got to be as deep as the deepest receiver. Keep everything in front of you, rally up and make the play.
Yeah, you would think they had the 3-score lead. Now it's down to 2, but 3-score lead here late, that they wouldn't give up a big pass play like that, but they did. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. Little clock management 101.
Touchdown, Steelers. Tariq Cohen, 75 yards. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. One last shot from Mayfield here. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.